Hello everybody, today we are going to be speaking about something that almost all the divers, they know what is it exactly and how it works. Especially the advanced divers, they are having more infos about it, about the colors and so on. So today we are speaking about the light. As you know, when we are diving, the biggest source of light is the sun. And actually we are diving on the light that penetrates the water from the sun to show up around what is going on. And then you're having a lovely dive or whatever. But how it really works and how everything is going on. First of all, the light travels in the medium of the air and it has a regular speed over there. And when it goes through the water, the speed is changing. Just keep that in mind because it's really important with what we are going to have later on. First of all, the light starts to travel from the sun to the water surface itself. The angle of the sun itself is really important because, for example, when the sun is here and the surface is here and the light goes this direction on the surface directly, what is happening is the light is going that way, and instead of penetrating directly, there's some reflections happening in all directions, and that makes less light to go through. And that is actually explaining why all the photographers or the underwater photographers, they like to dive to make pictures and videos when the sun is in a vertical angle, which is probably from the time 10 a.m. to 3 or 3:30 p.m. And that's actually important, so more light penetrates the surface to reach what object he wants to take a picture of. Now we are going under the water. The left amount of the light that penetrates the surface and it goes underwater, it actually happens like that the light is going through your mask. The glass, what I mean here is the glass of the mask goes through it, and this is a medium. And then there is the air between the glass and your eyes itself, and this is another medium. And then it touches your eye so you can see objects underwater. That actually causes the light to bend, and that's what we call it refraction. And that is changing the way you see things underwater. So that makes the things to show up or to seem to be bigger and closer than reality. If there's an object far away from you, for example, 4 meters, it will seem to be like almost 3 meters away. And it will seem to be a little bit bigger. But is it all the time like that when you're underwater, that things to seem to be bigger and closer all the time? Turbidity or the bad visibility makes the diver think that the things or the objects are further away than it is in reality. And this is just because it's surrounded by particles that makes you feel it's further away. So the bad visibility, you have something in the middle between you and the object itself, makes you feel it's behind it and it's far away. And this feminine knows as a visual reversal. So deeper you go, less light you have. You remember, because of the reflections that happen on the surface from the sun. So it goes everywhere, every direction. So you have less light goes down, and that's deeper you go, less light you have or darker it is. But with the color idea, actually it depends with the color over here on the wavelength of the color. So when the wavelength is short, actually is going to be absorbed by the water. And this is explained with the red colors, that you're going to find the red is disappearing the first thing because it has a short wavelength. But it's going to be the opposite way with all of the blue colors. It has a longer wavelength, and that's why it's disappearing the last. And you're gonna find that, for example, with the purple. Don't forget to subscribe. Liking this video and leaving a comment is actually supporting me and it's telling me to keep going with this kind of videos. And in the end, don't forget to try to dive with an instructor.